Afternoon, Helen. Thank you so very much for joining me this afternoon and agreeing to have an interview with me and tell me about tell us about your business, your new business and your business journey and your hopes and dreams and everything. So to start the interview, could you just introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about you and your business so that the people watching this interview can get to know you?
Okay, will do. Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate you asking me to speak with you. My name's Helen Barham. I run a coaching business called Queen of Burnout, which is the clues in the term completely. It's working with women who feel real exhaustion and tiredness, and they're getting to that level of burnout, which is starting to affect their daily life. We can all feel tired, but there's a degree of burnout where it actually does stop helping us on a day-to-day basis. So that's my business, working with very highly capable women who are high flyers and very successful in their own right and very talented. My background will be no surprise that if I've gone into burnout, then I've probably experienced burnout, which I did. And that was back in 2014. I was head of a media advertising company. And I just completely lost all my energy, lost all my way. And it didn't happen overnight, obviously. Actually, I would say probably 15 to 18 years in the making of being burnt out. So my own experience is why I've decided to go into this subject.
Brilliant. And you're obviously very passionate about it. And what is it that you enjoy most about what you do?
I think for me, it's making a difference. Every role that I've done in my past has always been about people making a difference, even in media. That there has to be purpose to everything that you do. So what I enjoy most is seeing that sudden spark where somebody goes, actually, I don't have to function like this anymore. Or, actually, I don't have to give my energy in that way. I can actually use it in this way, which would be more beneficial to me. So for me, it's seeing the results in my ladies and what it does for them personally, which is really powerful.
It's brilliant. Yes, it's absolutely brilliant. And when you're not, because you're obviously very driven, you've got lots of energy yourself, you're really passionate about what you do. And I know you're really passionate about what you do. And I know now this is going to end in a little cute somebody making an appearance, I'm sure. But what do you do to relax when you're not working?
Well, when I'm not working, I have a 7-year-old and a 16-year-old, massive age gap, all to do with career-minded woman here. So I spend a lot of time with my daughter. My son's mainly in his bedroom and comes down when he's hungry. I've got a wonderful husband of 23 years. So we try and capture some time together because we've been with each other since our early 20s. What do I do? I like to go for walks a lot. I like to get out. As I've got older, I like to be out in nature. It gives you really a lot of time to think. But also being somebody who's a sociologist, I've got a sociology degree. I watch a lot of rubbish on the television, but a lot of it is usually about people's lives and dynamics and, that sort of stuff that my husband thinks rubbish, but I love. So that's probably, and also I've just got a puppy, but he's asleep over there. So I'm hoping some stage in the middle of December, I can actually start doing my dog walk.
Oh, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. I was hoping he'd make a little appearance. Eric, your puppy, would make an appearance.
Yeah, he's asleep.
No, we won't disturb him while he's asleep because he'll end up having a pee or something. Because that's what puppies do. Yeah. So do you have any entrepreneurial role models?
I think I probably do. And mine will probably be slightly different. They're not like high noticeable people, but they're people that I've probably worked with in the past where I look across at people and I see their behaviors and the way they treat people. I'm very ethical. So, when we start chasing money, for example, our leadership and our role model type of people around us start to show their colours. So I tend to step back on people like that. So I tend to be more focused on people who are not necessarily in the public eye, but are grafters and who have put the effort in and don't moan and groan and just keep going and going and going. And they are good people. So I can't really name you, but it's probably a type of person that I tend to find myself warming towards. And it's those people that do everything from the heart and are very ethical.
Brilliant. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's lovely. That's who you sort of look to follow and look up to. Yeah. And that's brilliant. And did you have any difficulties? What difficulties did you have to start your business?
Okay, I'm going to be really honest here. I don't think I did because I started working with you, Moira. So I knew after doing the challenge back in May, June. Gosh, yeah, it seems like yesterday. It seems a long time ago as well. The moment I did that challenge, I think, as you know, I won community challenge winner, didn't I? I just got so involved with it. And therefore, I didn't really have major challenges at the start because I'd found my coach in you and I'd made a commitment to working one-to-one with you. I kind of had my mentor. So I never really found anything difficult along the way because I had somebody who knew what they were doing, who was proven, and who really was only just under a year in themselves and doing it brilliantly. So for me, I'm going to say no to that because I had you. But yes, there were mini challenges, but nothing where I go, oh my God, this bit was a nightmare. It really wasn't. And because I like to study, I had such a clear path from you that if I followed it, everything was kind of swimmingly linking into each next section of it and how to build a business. So does that answer it?
Yes, it does. Yes, it really, really does. And how have you found, because you've also kept your job, your job going, how have you found putting the two things in together?
It's really challenging, but life's as challenging as you make it, isn't it? I mean, starting a business without having that other job is probably a really intense journey and just as hard. I reduced my days and hours down, so I do 4 days in my day-to-day job and I do like 6 hours a day. But yeah, it's okay. It's been a journey balancing it because you have so much time to do Queen of Burnout and so much time to do your recruitment role. But in a sense, it's a bit chicken egg, isn't it? Because without one, I can't have the other. Without the other, I can't have the other. So exactly. I found it has been difficult at times, but not impossible. Nothing's impossible.
No, it's not. And I think if you have that attitude, if you go into it knowing that, you have to put effort in, I think as long as you don't go into starting a business thinking that you can have some coaching or do a course and it's like a magic bullet.
Yeah.
I've paid for a course, I've paid for some coaching, so it's just going to happen now, because that isn't how it happens. It takes work.
And actually, that's an unfair expectation on your coach because, ultimately your coach can take you, like the horse to water, but they can't make you drink it. It's, that disposition and that attitude and that passion has got to come from you. It's your baby. What I've had, that I feel I've had, is someone understand me, because I am a business woman. I've held quite senior roles. So I needed someone that was going to come up above me, if that makes sense, because otherwise I'd just have all the answers and be going back at you. So having someone that's come up above me has made me feel like the student, and I needed to feel like the student because I was the student, or I am the student. So no, it's not a quick fix. It's a journey, but it's a journey on the right path, I felt, in having, a coach like yourself.
And is there anything that's held you back during that journey?
Yes, myself, completely myself. So I've always suffered with imposter syndrome, even though it was at my highest level in a corporate company and I was the go-to person and I won awards. I would still think that I was hoodwinking. It's ridiculous, or they're going to find me out at some point. So I think all of us as women, especially women who have high expectations and high capabilities, I think we also always feel there's something more we could or should be doing. We don't settle in the now very well. So yeah, definitely. But the reality is that I know I'm on the right path, and I knew I was on the right path before we met, but I knew I was even more on the right path when we met, because you actually consolidated my thoughts and therefore was able to help me get to where I am now in my business.
And you're obviously an accomplished businesswoman. Like, so you've had a good corporate career in the past, you've achieved lots, you've had promotions, you've done a lot. So what made you reach out to actually have coaching? What made you think, and how has it helped you? What made you think, actually, I still, even though, because a lot of people, when they start a business, they think, oh, I know how to do all this stuff. I know how to do all this stuff. And then as they go along, they don't, and they get very demotivated. So what made you think, I definitely need coaching, and how has it helped you?
Well, firstly, you have to have good self-awareness. And I would say that if you believe that because you come from a corporate background or you've run a business before and it hasn't worked, that you've got all the answers, you haven't, and nor should you have. I think I believe in experts. I feel I'm an expert in what I do. And, you know, experts are there for a reason. And it would be really ignorant of us to think that we've got all the answers. I think also as well, being somebody who's strategic and career-minded and has done very well does not make me an entrepreneur. I might have the skill set and the tools to a degree and the ability, but I was absolutely lost in how to get going. I had an idea, I had the disposition, but I had no idea about ideal clients, and I'd worked in advertising, which is mad. But that's because when you work for a corporate company, you have your set way of working. It's an institution. They have their business objectives. And even though you might set some of them, those business objectives come higher. When you work independently, you set the business objectives. And all of a sudden, there is nothing around you telling you you can or can't do something. So for me, it makes complete sense that if you want to do this properly, you know, burst pipe in the house, whatever it may be, you get an expert in, don't you? You don't try and fix it yourself. You don't try and deal with it yourself, because you know that ultimately it's going to be a plaster over a situation. And I like role models. And when I saw you, and I'm not easily swayed, as you know, I'm quite a taskmaster. I either like or I don't, you know. I was just mesmerized by the energy and the focus and the determination, because that reflects me as well. So I kind of found someone similar. But I'm not an expert in starting people's companies. I'm not an expert in what to do. And if I wanted to do it properly, I needed to invest in an expert.
That's brilliant. And I'm so glad you did, because it's been really lovely watching your journey. And so long-term plans for your business, and how will that affect your life?
Okay, so the vision, the long-term plan is that Queen of Burnout is my company, you know, completely. If I want to work a Tuesday, not Thursday, hey, I don't. So the long-term plan is autonomy, building a group that serves people, that makes a difference, you know, whether that's a group of 500, but they're my ideal clients, whether that's courses of only 10 people taking them per slot, but they're my ideal clients. That's my aim. So all the rest of it and the success of it, whether it's financial gain, will come from doing what my purpose is. So that's my plan is that I give up my day job, and Queen of Burnout becomes my being. It becomes my business, my focus.
Brilliant. And what advice would you give to people starting their journey, Helen, or somebody that's got a business and they're struggling to get it going?
I would say it's okay that you don't know. I would say it's okay that you're stuck. I would say it's part of the journey, and there's reason for that. And actually, I would say don't be so silly to think that you're going to know every single thing that needs doing next in order to flow. That is not going to happen. And actually, it won't build you. So even if you invest in just a one-to-one, or you do a course, or you commit to work with yourself as a coach, I would say it's going to enlighten you, and it's going to give you the impotence to know what to do next. It's a stepping stone in starting a business. I'm 4 months in. So I would say, don't delay. Don't worry about not knowing it all. That's why you call in an expert. For any area of your life, you send your children to school to be taught by experts. You know, anything in your life, you have your hair cut by an expert. You don't cut your own hair, right? So if you're going to start your own business and you need clarity, get an expert in, because ultimately you could spend more money in the long run by not doing that in the beginning. That's my advice.
And that's the thing that that I see all the time. People come to me and say, I can't get any sales. Well, let me teach you how to do it. Oh, I can't afford that. Well, then don't get any sales. And it's sort of like a chicken and egg, and people just have to know that for a small investment, it makes all the difference. An investment in themselves, that it makes a huge difference.
And it is an investment, but it's not a gamble. Working with you isn't a gamble. It's an investment. So you don't work with Moira, and I mean this completely, and I don't, I choose very wisely. I weigh things up a lot. You work with you knowing that you're going to be worked, that you're going to be accountable, and that you're going to basically give us the stepping stone to where we need to be. I mean, there's a number of times when I was pushing ahead because of my personality, you were going, whoa, 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 come back, because I wasn't putting the foundations in.
Exactly.
So for me, whilst I know it's a financial investment, I would not be where I am now with all my savvy, with all my experience, with all my strategy ability. I launched tons and tons of products, nearly 15 years, and where they were very successful media products. I would not be where I am if I hadn't brought an expert in, which was you. I know I wouldn't, because I am not an expert in starting my own business. I'm just not.
Yeah, that's brilliant, Helen. That's lovely, and I've absolutely loved working with you, and hope we work together long into the future, because it's just so lovely to see your journey and everything. And
thank you.
And I love it when you get a light bulb moment. I love your face when you go, oh God, yes.
Yeah, there's been a few of those with you, hasn't there?
There's been a few. There's been a few. There really has.
And
Helen,
I just want to say thank you. I want to say thank you, because when you start a business, it's really tricky in the marketplace finding someone that you can trust and really lean on and know's got your back. And you have proven to me many a time, whether it's a Sunday afternoon or a Saturday evening, that you are there and that you care. So thank you.
oh, my pleasure, my absolute pleasure. And I do care, and I want everybody to succeed. You know, everybody that gets to know me to succeed. So that's brilliant. Well, Helen, thank you very, very much. It's been really, really lovely chatting to you. And I'm sure that everybody that looks at this interview will gain lots from it. So take care, and I'll see you soon.
Bye.